are live. Welcome back to Down in the Den, your number one global podcast for the greatest artists across the planet. And it's your host, your boy Mars, aka Marlon Beardo, the Bearded Weirdo, the Stella Rosa Casanova, the curator of culture and the Shud Knight of this podcast game. And we are back again with another stellar guest. We're batting 1,000. I want to give a warm Down in the Den welcome to my man SJ Dub. What's up, brother? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, brother. Like I said, thank you for having me once again. And yeah, we here.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Now you're from Brick City, is that correct?
Yeah, Dog City.
Dawg City.
Yeah.
Okay. Jersey, some of the greatest hip hop artists of all time, from Lauryn Hill to Redman. And here's another fantastic artist. Before you came on, I've been listening to your latest project, phenomenal bars out the yin yang, phenomenal project there. So I just want to give you a salute for keeping hip hop alive. I consider myself a hip hop historian, and the longer I do this, it gets rougher and rougher with some of the art and some of the music that we get submitted. But man, yours is definitely up to snuff, man. So salute.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Facts.
Absolutely. So we begin every episode with the absolute same question. I grew up loving two things, hip hop and comic books. And one thing that I noticed that was consistent is that there's always an origin story. There's always a method to the madness, a reason why people do what they do, or a reason why they became a superhero, whatever it may be. So, can you share the journey that led you to pursue music? What were the pivotal moments that made you say, okay, this is what I want to do with my life?
Um, I want to say the good and the bad criticism. Um, the people I have in my corner, my family, my close friends, now my kids. You know, because it was this is about I started music probably 13, 14 years old. Like more professionally on that level. Like I started going to the studios and stuff like that. But I've been doing music, probably singing and stuff like that since I was like 11, 12 years old. But yeah, I would say just my community rocking with me, my family, my friends. Um, yeah, man, just the energy I was getting along the way, and even when I thought I was going to stop. It just was like, nah. There just was more energy, more batteries put in me, more fuel put in my tank. You know, just to keep going for real.
And I love that you said criticism and positivity both motivated. I always tell people you can't grow flowers without sunshine and shit. You need
That's
fertilizer, you need sunshine. So you need both equal parts. There's a thin line between love and hate. And when you
that's
turn that hater to a lover, it's a beautiful thing. So I love that answer. Absolutely. Now,
that, brother.
I mentioned earlier, listening to your music, bar heavy, which I love, substance in the music, which I love. What are your music? I think I have an idea, but I want to hear it directly from your mouth. Which artists or particularly had the most significant impact on you as far as influence? I think, there's always some type of blueprint for every great artist. You go back to Michael Jackson, and he'll tell you, Jackie Wilson and James Brown motivated me. Who's that artist for you?
All right, one or two.
You can give me two. Absolutely.
So what's crazy is both artists happen to be from Philly. Um, Cassidy fan from Rip,
Shout
from
out to Cass.
from Rip. Moving over to at this time Meek Mill, but I do have a back in the day. I rocks with Nas. Um, a lot of people might not think so, but I was always a Common fan too.
Oh yeah. Those are four iconic artists, and all contribute something different and meaningful. I always say Meek has the greatest anthem ever created.
Right, that's a fact. That's
That'll
a fact.
hype you up to run through a wall, even if you're soft, soft as a paper towels. Cassidy, the wordplay, and really to me, one of the first like battle rappers that actually was able to make hits.
That's a fact.
You know,
That's a
I've
fact.
taught in deaf, you know, you'll see people that can kill the battle, can't make a hit, people that can make a hit, but we just get murdered in the battle. He was like the first one, in my opinion, to cross over. And then of course Nas, nothing need to be said. But
Right.
Nas, you know, arguably the GOAT. And Common, man, one of the most underrated. Common has bars, man.
Yeah,
Common has bars. His recent project with Pete Rock still in my car right now. So man, I love that foundation for sure.
yeah.
Now, for listeners new to your music, how would you describe your sound? Like, how would you define your particular style of hip hop?
So I'm gonna say around. So before the drill sound came around, because like I said, I got kids, so they pretty much was like that. I feel like why don't you try to hop on a drill song or do a drill beat or something like that? And since then, I've made songs to drill beats, but I still kept it me.
Right.
I also like sending a message through my drill music also too. But before that, I'm gonna say I was a definitely a message sender. Talking about my life a lot, what I my upbringing, what I went through, what I seen, what I was around, from time to time. Basically, I treat my music like I'm writing my book about myself.
I love that. I love
So
it. And to me, the best hip hop it usually falls in either it's autobiographical, it's reporting. You may not have experienced it, but you're reporting what you saw, or you're telling the story. Those are, to me, the greatest level. And of course, you have sometimes you just want to be ratchet as hell, and that's
right,
perfectly
right, right.
acceptable too. You know, it's like Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors. So I love that. I love that.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned telling your story. How do you channel personal experiences and emotions into your music? And for you, could you provide like an example of one track that you feel is like particularly therapeutic to create? Because we're another big element. We're in May. It's Mental Health Month, and I feel it's very important, especially as Black men. We don't grow up knowing about therapy. We don't know, the best we can get is talk to you a male figure, which may not be the most positive male figure. I
Right,
listened to my
right,
big brother a lot, and he was always up to no good. So
right.
give me a lot of bad advice, and then or go to church or something, or the barbershop. That's really all we have. So I feel with creatives, when to go out and create a song or a show or podcast or whatever, if you're creative, there's something therapeutic about it because it's extremely hard work and sometimes very minimal reward. What's a track to you, or what's something that you feel that just really express your emotions in your music, or a particular track that you want people to listen to?
So like I said, I got team music songs out there on all streaming platforms. One of the songs that I made in my whole career of rapping and singing and stuff like that, that still stands out to me to this day, which I don't push as much, um, is I got a song called Shoulder. And just that name alone probably should, like, once you listen to it, you'll hear like pretty much the younger me, the teenage me, and the me now. And that's in that song. It literally like breaks down like my upbringing and where I'm at now. So yeah, my song Shoulders is probably one of the most influenced song to me personally about me. Um yeah, that's one of the special ones that I've made in my career.
I love that. I love that. Now, one element about the show, of course, we are huge on the artists, the creativity, making of the music, but also we like to give guidelines to people in this artist about navigating the industry. Because as we learn, I mean, you go back to Cadillac Records, something that brings us so much joy in music, it's often very treacherous for the people that create it.
Right,
So
right.
navigating the music industry, what challenges have you faced as an emerging artist, and how have you overcome them so far?
Um, I feel like the only challenges I faced is just not fully getting rewarded how I feel I should, off of just the worth ethic and the drive and the energy and just me just mostly like inspiration, because I feel as though I inspire a lot of people around my area, and I come from my city and my hood, to do this. And I feel like is literally getting these people out of this hole that they've been in, and out of this ruckus and when you drugs, streets, gangs, or any of that. I feel like it's pulling them away. They want to more be in the studio than in the streets, because they're watching me, and sometimes I don't even be knowing who it is. I gotta find out in person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say, yeah, my only challenge, my biggest challenge with this thing is just not being fully rewarded, but it also could be my fault too. I'm not just blaming the people and the people around my area, wherever it is, because I do like a lot of community. I do like a lot of performing in my community too. Like a lot of community events, they call me out to perform and stuff like that. And not for nothing, I would do it the way I'm doing it now. It's just like I would like to be a little better rewarded for certain things that I do, but overall, like I said, I just put it in God's hands, and God has been good to me, rewarding me with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Things along the way. So I felt like that's my reward right there.
Absolutely. And I tell people we need to start redefining success, because there's only going to be one Drake. There's only going to be one LeBron. There's only going to be one whatever the industry that's the pinnacle. But you can be the king of your castle. You can live a very comfortable life. I tell people we're writing a book called The Rule of 10,000. There's
Mm,
8 billion people on the planet. But if you can find 10,000, which is a tenth of a percent, to really just support your art, support
that
your craft, support your love, you're set for life.
that would be crazy. That would be.
You can really monetize that and create generational wealth. So it's going to come out in the last quarter of this year. It's called The Rule of 10,000. And I tell people, you believe it or not, you can find that. You can
That's a
really
fact.
find that. It's just the level of work that you're willing to put in and taking those shots, especially with all the tools. We really don't need record labels anymore. We really don't need any of that. All we need is a little bit of ingenuity and make sure your product is top tier, and you can make it. So I love that you mentioned that. The only thing you notice is reward, but you're still happy with what you're doing. That's success
Right, 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 right.
right there. So we need to redesign. And I tell people, if you create one song and get it out there and get it on the platform, that's more than 99.99% of the population have
Facts.
done in their life. If you just create one
One
song,
song.
you've done that. When it comes to fulfilling the dreams, your dreams. So I respect that answer to
And,
the fullest.
and you know what? That's my radio. My radio is when I drop a single on all platforms. Because at the end of the day, if you're making good music, it's going to get to this person and that person.
Yep.
So it's if it's good, a lot of people's going to listen to it. Just as well
Yep.
as they do just as well as they turn on 105.1 or 90
Yep.
97.1. If you making fire music, they will literally play your song morning, midday, night, whatever. So you gotta that's what just why this is what quality makes a big difference in people's lives. Mainly, dealing with music or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's all about quality. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it's timeless, because you can drop a song that's 5 years old, but it's new to someone every
Somebody
day.
else.
It's
That
new to someone. So I tell people, keep plugging away, take those shots. Take your 10,000, do your 10,000 hours. That's another chapter in the rule our book. Putting that 10,000 hours of work and taking those shots every day. Posting and promoting yourself every day. And if the content is good, it's like a good restaurant. Once that
right.
word of mouth gets around, everybody's going to want to take.
Everybody gonna tap in. Yep, that's a fact.
Going to tap in for sure. Now, you just recently dropped a project. Talk a little bit about that project. It's available on your link on your Instagram. And by the way, we'll make sure we get people your social media. But tell us a little bit about your latest project.
Yeah, so my latest project, 100 and I Mike, you probably want to know why I named it that. I'm a very big boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? So, but just overall, I just overall that tape right there, I wanted to make special, really for me and for my real like supporters, my front row supporters. Cause that one I didn't put on all streaming platforms. I actually made a website, put the music up there to where you could go purchase it, you know what I'm saying? Whether you want to purchase it or you want to just listen to a few tracks or whatever the case may be. I also had that option at one time too. Yeah, I just wanted to make that something special real quick. I put that together within a month. That was special to me. I didn't want to do it. I got so much music on all streaming platforms, man. I said, you know what? Let me try something differently. Let me try to make my music actually my store.
I love it.
So I wanted to be the owner of this tape pretty much. And I also wanted to be special to the ones that really dive into me and really love what I do and appreciate what I do. So I said, you know what, whether I sell 1 copy, 2 copies, 3 copies, it still mean a lot to both of us.
And at the end of the day, I'm a huge proponent. I'm surprised. I always tell people I've been doing this since 2019, and I work with a lot of A&Rs, a lot of producers, a lot of managers, and they submit their music. And I'm a huge proponent of direct to consumer.
Right.
Because music has been divided so much since really the Napster era. And I'm old enough that I remember all of that. I remember going to the record store, paying my $10 for a CD, putting it in the car, listening to the music, and sometimes it was great, sometimes it wasn't. But you paid your $10, and depending on what the artist has cut, at least you could monitor. If I sell 10 CDs at $10, I know I've made $100.
Right.
Streaming, even though there's litigation moving forward to help the artist more. Direct to consumer is the wave. It is the future because you can still, after you've had an exclusive period, launch it on those platforms. It can still go there. But you can still learn your fan base. You can learn marketing. You can get email addresses. You can get data, which is truly all record companies are about is gathering data. Direct to consumer is the wave. So I love that you are taking advantage of that, having your website. I give the people the website where they can find that because I love when I see young artists really thinking outside of the box instead of just letting something float on Spotify that may not ever get on a playlist. Getting that direct consumer market with the way that it splits, you could sell 100 of your CDs and make more than someone that's streamed 2-3 million. So
that's a fact.
So tell us a little bit about where they can find that project.
So you can find 100 and SJ Dub 100 and SJ playbutton.com. If you follow me on all platforms, I'm at s.j.dub3. It's my Instagram. I have actually the link in my bio. You guys can go there. And like I said, I have 2 options. You can get the CD mailed to you also with the downloads, or you could just get the downloads, both the same price. Nothing. So if you just want to have that CD in hand and stuff like that, you have the option.
Absolutely. The younger generation, they're all about my godson. He's turning 16. He's out in Vegas or turning 17. Terrible godfather. Turning 17. And these young kids are starting to get back into getting physical media.
Catch up.
Having CDs and having something tactile that they can touch and own because you don't have to worry about, if you can't pay your Spotify that month, losing all your stuff, or, you own it to own it. So it's definitely something that I love. Now, my final question, because we're all about DEN is an acronym for dreams and nightmares. Because I was minding my life away doing the 9 to 5 thing, and then 2019, right before the world changed with the pandemic, I realized, man, I got to start doing my dreams, and it's been a pleasure. But in the alternate universe, if you weren't pursuing music, what do you think your career path would have been? What path do you think you would have followed?
So I'm real big in two things right now besides music, and that's I cut hair. I'm a barber, and I also do security part time. So other than that, other than them two, I I would still want to be tapped in with the music thing. So I think I would be throwing. I want to be a promoter or throwing shows for the most part. If I wasn't doing actual music.
Love it. I love it. That's definitely something you can learn by doing this, and that's a career path. Promotion is huge.
Right,
Is
right.
huge, and helping other people get on. So, brother,
That's a fact.
this has been an absolute pleasure. I love speaking with people that respect the craft, love the craft, uh, open minded when it comes to the business element. We welcome you to the Den family. I want to give you an opportunity to, anything, any future projects you want to promote, any shout outs you want to give, anything that the people should be looking out for. I want to give you the opportunity to let people know that. And then we're going to wrap this one up.
All right, sound like a plan, man. So yeah, I went. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my son Tanner Slime because he helped me with this project. All the beat producers. I want to also give a shout out to everybody that purchased this project. Because like I said, this is hand to hand. I just wanted to see all results, whether it was uh uh, uh you buying the CD, you wanting to listen to it, giving me a take on it, whether it was good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all that. Man, shout out to Asbury Park, man. You know what I'm saying? Been showing me so much love for all these years. That's where I'm from. That's my hometown. So Jersey, man. A shout out to all the Jersey artists. Even all the artists from my city. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's on, the ones that's still moving with the music thing. For real, for real.
I love it. And as always, we love to show love to the guests of the Den. So the first person in the comments when this episode drops, they'll put the word Jersey in the text. We'll send you a DM, and we're going to get you a copy of that 100 sent out to you courtesy of the Den. That's how we support
Thank you,
guests.
thank you.
So the first person in the comments, I will holler at you, and we'll either get you a download or get you the physical CD, however you want to do that. Well, guys, it's the season's already starting phenomenal. This is our last season, but the Den isn't going anywhere. Mars Media, of course, we're going to be having other platforms. We might be back in a few years. So the guests that we have are really important on this final season. And brother, you have been phenomenal. I wish you nothing but the world of success to you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Welcome to the Den family. Like I said, even though this is our final season in 2026, will be the final season. The family and the community that we created is going nowhere, and we're going to make sure that we show love. Please follow him on social media. What's your social media one more time for the people?
My social media at s.j.dub3 at sjdub3 on all streaming platforms.
Absolutely. And we'll have that linked in the episode notes for you. Guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Down in the Den. SJ Dub, brother, thank you so much for being a guest and keeping hip hop alive. Once again, I wish you nothing but the success. We end every episode the same way. Peace, love, unity, and respect.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a good one, man. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
having me.
You have a good one.
You do the same. Peace.